Hi, folks. Uh, I want to say before I get started, my name is Asia Branch. I am your host of Speak On It. I do a few live episodes every so often. I've been getting a little more comfortable with YouTube, but I can't leave my fellow conservatives and Christian warriors hanging here on Facebook. Hey, Christian. Hi, Scott. Also, I said in an earlier episode of Speak On, I can't remember which one because I've done so many this week, that I would be going to a protest this Saturday just to see for myself if the police are going to stand down. I'm going to let you guys know I can't actually go to that protest because the person that I was going with can't go, and I'm not stupid. If I'm a conservative that walks into a very liberal and far left protest, that is my ass getting beat. So I won't be attending that protest. Hopefully the person can go with me to another one. So I just wanted to get that out the way. So this episode is called What a Day, right? And I called it that for a reason. Hi, Michael. Hi, Kenny. I was at work today and, it was a regular, normal day at first, dealing with paperwork, dealing with patients, getting the group so the clients can, go in. My day didn't start to shift until around, I want to say 2:45 to 3:00 when I was about to go for my break. And I was having a conversation with my supervisor, the same supervisor who pulled me in to talk about my Facebook months ago when my Muslim colleague had reported it. So it's the same supervisor. I can't give you guys her name, but I hope you guys remember when I told you that story because it was the same supervisor. Now, when we first started our conversation, right, the conversation was about the equipment, right? We were having technological difficulties with our phones and with our computers, and we were trying to get that fixed. And somehow, my supervisor found a way to make it about, guess who? Donald Trump. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking, well, how the hell could that possibly happen? How could a conversation about our equipment go to Donald Trump? I'm going to tell you how, right? So whatever our issues are, she somehow says, and we're because, we're in an election year and, we're going to start to see things like this from a lot of businesses and a lot of people are going to have those issues. And I know you like him, but, we have a boo-boo the fool president. And Asia, I know you like him, but you can just be boo-boo the fool with him. Did you hear what I said? Not only did she call Donald Trump boo-boo the fool, but she said that I was because I support our president. This was a conversation about the equipment. How the hell did I become boo-boo the fool all of a sudden? I mean, it was so fast. It just happened. She just made it about Donald Trump. Trump became boo-boo the fool because of whatever issue that we're having with our tech. How does that work? How does that equation work? What variable were you using to get to that end result? And how the hell did I become boo-boo the fool? Just because I support him. How? Right? So we go from the conversation about the tech, Trump becomes boo-boo the fool simply because, a lot of businesses are going to be dealing with the same issue. Can't go into too much detail. Long story short, we got hacked. Our phones did, not any of the system did, but the phone. Businesses apparently are going to start to see a lot more of that considering we're in an election year. And, do you remember that app where you can make yourself look old? Well, guess who did that? Russia did it. So we're going to start to see a lot more of that as far as interference is concerned while we get closer and closer to the election. And this man that we have in the White House, I know you support him, Asia, but this boo-boo the fool that we have in the White House isn't doing a damn thing about it. And I know you support him, but, and I know you like him, but I guess you're just going to be boo-boo the fool with him. That is what she said to me when all we were doing was talking about our tech, talking about our equipment. We get from that part of the conversation, we go from there to how, we're still dealing with systemic racism. And this country doesn't know how to produce anything. And when the president said that we produce the most oil in the world, he was lying. And the fact that the people who voted for him believe that, they're just as crazy as he is. That is what she said to me. She acknowledged that I am a Trump supporter. She acknowledged that I am conservative. So it's not like she's ignorant to the fact of who I am. She used it as an attack against me and other conservatives. And then try to bring up a case about how there's still systemic racism. How is there still systemic racism? Because we have Black celebrities who haven't been welcomed to the Hollywood leftist table yet. Well, who wants them at that table in the first place? I don't want Denzel sitting at the far leftist table. So if he's saying he's going to exclude himself, he's going to exclude himself. I mean, this whole conversation, I know I'm rambling, but I'm so heated. I'm so heated. We're in the middle of the day. 2 more hours to go. We just got to solve this problem. It shouldn't take that long to get the people who installed our stuff on the phone, to have them come in. I'm thinking that's the conversation she and I are about to have, because again, I'm the office manager and I'm trying to get ahead of this problem. But instead of working out a solution, instead of figuring out how we're going to stop this problem because it is an inconvenience for business, you want to talk to me about Donald Trump. You want to talk to me about systemic racism. I don't know how the hell we even got there. Simply because of what happened to our business, we're supposed to just say, oh, Russia's going to interfere in our elections, which we know they did, but not for the benefit of Donald Trump. They want discourse in this country. They want chaos in this country. But Donald Trump is to blame. He's Boo Boo the Fool, I'm Boo Boo the Fool, and everybody who supports him is Boo Boo the Fool with him. That makes no sense. How did we get to that? How did we? How? Gosh, I'm over defending my position as a conservative and as a woman who supports the president. I'm over defending it. So I just sat there. I'm just going to let you go on your rant because I'm done defending my position to you. I did that already months ago when you called me in here about a colleague who felt threatened and didn't feel safe because of my beliefs in my Facebook post. That woman internalized my opinion of Ilhan Omar. I didn't call out my colleague. My post didn't criticize my colleague. It was criticizing Ilhan Omar and her ideology, her radical jihadist ideology. I didn't criticize all Muslims. I didn't criticize the entirety of the religion. I criticized Ilhan Omar and the radical ideology that she practices. But my colleague internalized that. You had me in this office defending my position for 2 hours. I'm not defending it anymore. And I feel like she knew that I wouldn't because I was sick of the conversation the last time. Since then, I've kept politics out of my mouth at that job. I leave it outside. When I come home, I'm going to chat it up with my sister. I'm going to come on to my platform. I'm going to speak to my following, the little that I have. But I enjoy talking with you all because you all get it. Y'all get it. She doesn't. Because y'all and I can disagree. We can disagree. We can. But you don't insult me. I'm over it. I'm tired of defending it. Michael, you're right. It is another example of Trump derangement syndrome. You're going to blame him for something that he had nothing to do with. We're in New Jersey. We have our own problems as far as this job is concerned. This problem that we're having is inconvenient. I'm the office manager trying to get ahead of it. You're my supervisor who knows how to really deal with this problem. And instead of us trying to problem solve, you want to have a conversation about how Trump is to blame, how he doesn't want to acknowledge that Russia is at fault, and that we're going to be seeing a lot more of what we're dealing with because we're in an election year. Where was that concern back when Obama was the president of the United States? We were being hacked then. Where was your concern? Because I was told that we were hacked once before. But it wasn't under Donald Trump's presidency. Where was your concern then, huh? Was everyone who supported Barack Obama Boo Boo the Fool then? No, they weren't. They supported him. They loved him for everything that he did. No one wanted to hold his presidency accountable for the fact that we were being hacked as Americans. Plain and simple. I got past that. I let her go on her rant. Then we end up in a conversation where we're talking about how this country doesn't produce anything, that we are a nation of consumers. Part of that is probably correct. I'll give her that. We do consume a lot. We do. We're consumers. When we have a lot of businesses that provide different services and different products and people have money in their pocket, well, we're going to consume. I go shopping. I like to eat out. I like to go to the movies. Not so much now. I used to. I like to go to the theater. Not so much. I used to. Some shows here and there I'll go to. Of course, we're consumers. But we do know how to produce. We produce the best artists in the world. We produce the best athletes in the world. And when I said that, you know what she said? Well, who are the best athletes and artists? Who are they? And I said, well, the best ones we know are, as far as athletes, we have LeBron James, you have Curry, you have a whole bunch of people. I'm not going to go down the list because there's so many, and that was just basketball. And she goes, but the only reason why a lot of people don't want to acknowledge, the reason why they're separating themselves from Hollywood is because a lot of them who've achieved a certain level of wealth and accomplishment still aren't being welcomed to the table. Because when they think that they've, achieved everything that they need to, they're like, well, we finally got a seat at the table. Well, now the rules changed. This is what my supervisor was saying to me, that the rules changed apparently. And Black people in Hollywood or in sports or whatever it is, they finally make it to the table, but now the rules are changing. I don't want to hear that crap. I don't. Personally, why would anybody want to be at the leftist table? Don't. Achieve your wealth, achieve all the goals you're trying to achieve, and screw the left's table, because that's why we're in the problem that we're facing. Again, I wasn't going to say most of any of this because I've said it already to her before. Yet I got to sit here and listen to my supervisor go on a rant about how we're still dealing with systemic racism. No, we are not. No, we are not. The biggest issue in Black America is not systemic racism. It is Black on Black crime. It is the education rate in our communities, the lack of support, the lack of initiative. There's none of that in Black America, with the exception of Black on Black crime. But when we're trying to deal with that specific problem, don't nobody want to talk about it. Oh, but it's Trump's fault. How? He's not the one who shot your nephew. That was Jamal, because he's a part of the Crips, and your nephew is part of the Bloods, and that's what happens. That is the problem that we're facing in Black America. I don't want to hear anything about systemic racism. When our community has achieved a certain standard of accomplishment and respect for human life of one another in our own community, then you can talk to me about systemic racism. How about we deal with the bigger issues in our community first? And if we're still facing the issues of systemic racism that you say that we have, well, then we'll deal with it. But that's not on the top 5 of issues that is hurting our community. So don't talk to me about no systemic racism until you're ready to talk about how we stop Black on Black crime. Let's talk about that first. Let's talk about that first. All of this was happening in my day. Not only did we do that, but she also said that America gets itself involved in wars because it is more important to us to conquer the world. Vietnam, we shouldn't have been there. I agreed with her on that. And I said to her, I agree with you on that. America should have stayed out of that war. We shouldn't have gotten involved in that one. That was between A and B, and America needed to see its way out of that. We got involved, and then we chose the wrong side. And every time you choose the wrong side, when you're on the wrong side of things, you end up losing. And that's what happened with America in that war. Then she said we should not have been involved in World War. In World War, we shouldn't have been involved? Really? You're going to tell me that a fascist who was trying to get to the United States to blow us all up, it wasn't important for us to get involved in that war? He blew up a boat full of Americans. He was trying to get over here. Hello, it's called the Hindenburg. Oh, no, you know what, Asia, I'm going to teach you some history, because I said to her, I have to disagree with you on that one. That's when I started to push back. I have to disagree with you on that. I'm sorry. We needed to be involved in World War. Whether your opinion's about World War II, if that's your opinion, I'm not going to fight you on that one. If that's what you want to think, oh, we have Japanese in Hawaii and they hold the population. If that's what you think, that's what you think. That is your business. But don't tell me we shouldn't have gotten involved in World War, period. The First World War, we were dealing with Hitler and Nazis, and he did build the Hindenburg. That shit was trying to get here. He was trying to get to the United States to spread his fascism, to spread his ideology, to kill anyone who didn't conform. And don't be a Jew, and don't be a Christian who wants to protect the Jew, because you will die. And that's what he was thinking. That's what Hitler wanted. But we're wrong for wanting to get involved to prevent Hitler from spreading that kind of hatred. He was killing Jews across Europe. We got involved to free them, to save them, to assist Europe in fighting that battle. Because if we didn't get involved, most likely Europe would have fell. It would have been an entire Nazi nation, and we would have the entire Eastern Hemisphere to worry about, because Hitler would have conquered. But you're going to tell me we shouldn't have been involved in World War. How did my day turn into that? How did my day turn into that? It was fine from 9 o'clock a.m. this morning to 3 p.m. It was fine. It was fine. And then all of a sudden, now that we're trying to deal with a particular issue, now all of a sudden, it's Trump's fault. America is a piece of crap. We always want to conquer the world. We kill when we shouldn't have to. Our president is Boo Boo the Fool, and so are you. That's how the rest of my day went. I don't know about y'all, but I'm so over it. I'm over it. I'm tired of pushing back. I'm tired of debating where I stand. I have to do it every single day with people. I don't want to do it at work. I don't come here to talk politics. I don't go to that job to talk politics. I don't go to this job to promote Donald Trump. I don't go to this job to do any of that. I go to this job so we can help our community. So we can do that. Yes, I am a conservative, but I'm human. I make mistakes. I still have a lot of growing to do. I still have a lot of learning to do. But don't call me Boo Boo the Fool because I'm choosing to support the President of the United States. I don't agree with him on everything that he does. I don't. But most Americans don't usually agree 100% of the time with their president. They don't. Not even Democrats and liberals agree with Obama 100% of the time. Certain decisions that he made, liberals and Democrats had issue with. A lot of them did. But that didn't stop them from supporting him. And you damn sure weren't calling them Boo Boo the Fool. You damn sure weren't criticizing their intellect. You weren't talking down to them. Oh, let me teach you a little history. That's what she said to me. That's how she spoke to me. Assuming that I'm this ignorant 11-year-old who don't know nothing about American history, yet you're sitting before me telling me that my country is sugar honey iced tea, that we don't produce nothing, that all we want to do is just conquer everything, and then say that socialism isn't a bad thing. And that was the one that got me infuriated. You know why? Because she brought up Cuba, a nation where socialism devastated it. She said it wasn't socialism that destroyed that nation. It was when America got involved and raped the nation of its resources. Socialism didn't hurt Cuba. America did. Where did you learn that history? I'm sorry. Socialism destroyed Cuba. When you have someone who is a tyrant and they're saying, I'm going to take your money and I'm going to decide how much of your money I'm going to give you. And if you try to fight back, I will kill you and yours. That is a tyrant. That is what they had in Cuba for so long. It's the same issue in Venezuela. But you're going to tell me socialism isn't a bad thing? You're going to really tell me that? Yet I'm sitting here making money off of my work. Then she says to me that this is a nation that just puts people to work because they want to tell them that the American dream is obtainable for people who work regular. This system is just to make the rich wealthy. It's just that. Wealthier. No, the American dream is freedom, prosperity, and opportunity. That is the American dream. No one promised you riches. That is not the American dream. The problem is we've allowed the left and Hollywood and entertainment to dictate what the American dream is, that my generation freaking believes that the American dream is a big-ass mansion with a pool in the backyard and a whole bunch of cars out front. Hood rich, just saying it. I'm just calling it like it is. We've allowed them to dictate what the American dream is, but that's not what it is. The American dream aren't riches. It's not. It is freedom. It is freedom. It is protection under the law. It is equal opportunity and protection under the law. That is it. That is the American dream. But you're going to sit here and tell me that it isn't. You're going to sit here and tell me that socialism isn't a bad thing. You're going to sit here and tell me that the country of which I was born and the country that I love so much is a moot, that we're reckless, that all we want to do is destroy things, move into nations to destroy and conquer and just take and take and take and get nothing in return. That the only thing that we're really good at producing is military. That's a crock of crap. That's a load. You're going to tell me that all we're good at is killing? That is not America. I'm sorry. That's not America. America's only good asset in your mind is that we know how to put together a great military, and that we only do dealings with nations who are willing to pay for our military and our firearms. I'm sorry. That's a load of crap. America provides ideas of freedom and prosperity and equal protection under the law and equal opportunity under the law. That is what America does. We inspire, but nations can't do that when they're fighting, terrorists in the Middle East. When nations in the same region are doing a whole bunch of infighting, no one can see clearly. No one can think with logic. America is trying to let them know, listen, America did it this way. If you want what you say you want, then you'll try it our way. We will help you, but that doesn't mean we only make a good military. We have great ideas. We have great ideas. We have the best entertainment. We have the best athletes. Our technological advances are happening here. Don't tell me that it's China. Don't tell me that it's Russia. No, they're stealing intellectual property from America. So all the geniuses that we're saying live there, no, you're stealing it from America. So technically, those geniuses live here. We produce great scientists and mathematicians. Now, we may not have a lot of them, but we do produce them. We do. You're not going to sit here and convince me that America is all this types of bad. I'm sorry. You're not. And me having to push back a few times was ridiculous. My day should not have gone that way. My day should have been about, how do we solve this problem? What are we doing about the clients for tomorrow? How am I supposed to do this, that, and the third for the boss lady? That should have been my day. That should have been it. The last 2 hours of my day should have been about the clients, should have been about solving the problem, should have been about how we can do more outreach into the community. That should have been the conversation at the end of my day. No, but I'm sitting here watching you go on your Trump derangement rant and then criticize me, insult me because I support him, and then, talk down to me like I was a child, like I didn't know my own history, like I don't know the things that America is guilty of. How dare you do that? How dare you? And because I'm sitting there, I sat there with a face just like this, and I can do it over again because I'm heated, and I'm just gonna listen to what she was saying. And this is the face that I made. That was my face while she was speaking, until she said that we should have never gotten involved with World War. Because that's when I started to push back. And then I had to push back more when she said socialism wasn't a threat. Had to push back then. Then I had to push back on her when she was talking about systemic racism. I had to push back. I can't just sit there and just let you go on your rant and then not tell you what other issues that you're not considering in your argument. But now I don't want to sit here and do this. I came to you with a problem so you and I could solve it. We're not even talking about that. We're talking about Russia. Now Trump is to blame, and how the reason why we're going through what we're going through is because Russia's doing this, that, and the third. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? I'm supposed to just allow you to just go on this rant, but the problem, you guys, still isn't solved. And I got to go into work tomorrow, and I have to deal with that. Again, because it's not solved. I came to you at 2:45 so we can solve this problem, because we've been trying to solve it for a while now, and nothing has happened. Nothing has happened. We haven't solved the problem, but we're so focused on Trump. The problem still isn't solved. I have to go into work tomorrow, and I have to get my ass chewed out because it's not solved. But when I went to someone who I knew could figure out a way to solve it, you didn't want to talk about the solution. You wanted to belittle me. You wanted to debate me. But since you pulled me into the office months ago about my Facebook and my colleague that was offended and tried to get me fired, I have left my political opinion at home. I leave it there for a reason, because I know that I work in an office filled with liberal Democrats who apparently don't have an issue with socialism. That is your business. That is what you think. You are entitled to your opinion. That is your right. This is America. But how dare you try to criticize me for the way I think, for my supporting the president? How dare you? Because you know what? That was an hour wasted, problem still not solved, and I still think the way that I freaking think. And you still think the way that you think. So what was the point of this conversation? You were trying to convince me of nonsense, and I refused to hear it. And then when I pushed back, you patronized me. I'm over this conversation, and you're going to get a blank stare. That's what you're going to get from me, because I wasn't buying the nonsense that she was selling at all. But I know tomorrow when I go to work, you know what my boss is going to ask me? Are the phones working? Well, I tried to get the problem fixed, but I tried to make something happen. I tried to have this resolved by the time the tomorrow comes, because this has been an inconvenience. It's making my job a little bit difficult because I have to do the scheduling and I can't call out because our phones don't work. But you know what? Now it's all on you. It is above me now. That is what I'm going to say. You know why? Because my supervisor says it all the time when somebody does something to her that she doesn't like. You know what she says? It's above me now. Well, you know what? It's above me now because I'm done. I tried to solve this problem. I went to every person that I knew could help me, and you're the best person to do it. Every person that I've gone to don't know what they're doing. Maybe because they're of a certain age and don't fully understand the technology that we're working with. So I'm going to someone who's closer to my age. She's not that close. She is in her 40s, but still, you have a better understanding of the technology of which that we're using for our business. So maybe you're the person I need to talk to. And while I'm telling her the, recent developments as far as the problem is I'm coming to you for a solution because everything that everybody else has done hasn't worked. And I think you're the best person for the job. Maybe you and I need to, work together and figure out the best way to solve the problem. How did that get to Trump? And how did I become Boo Boo the Fool when you and I were just sitting here yesterday trying to figure out how to solve this problem once before? It was above us. We sent it to the main office. We sent it to the corporate office. Let them figure it out. When they couldn't, they called me. And I said, I'll get right on it. Now I'm trying to figure out how to deal with this. I go to someone who I think might be able to help. And instead of having a conversation on how to solve the problem, what do? I'm sitting there quiet while she's insulting me because I support the president of the United States of America, Donald Trump. Does any of this happen to any of you guys at your jobs? Because I'm over it. This happens way too often. So many people want to talk about Donald Trump, how he's this, how he's that, how he's an a-hole, how he's a bigot, how he's a racist. And then they always look at me to respond. And when I don't, they just smirk or they smile or they do whatever they're going to do. Right, because I'm not going to engage. I am not. Why? Because I am not going to change your minds. So what is the point of the debate? I'm not going to change your mind. You're not going to change my mind. I'll accept nuggets of wisdom when you have them to offer. And that's the thing about my supervisor. I was waiting for her to drop some nuggets of wisdom in this conversation that went totally sideways. Or should I say totally left? Because for the most part, she doesn't say stuff like this. To me anyway. She might think that way, but when she's talking to me, recognizing the fact that I am conservative, recognizing the fact that I am a Trump supporter, she knows that the only thing really that she and I can really talk about and not hit too many bumps in a sense, for lack of a better word, is when we're talking about Black America. Why? Because most of the issues that she brings up with me are true when it comes to Black America. You're not bringing Trump into that conversation because the fault isn't his. It's Black America's, and she and I can agree on that. Don't talk to me about Russia. Don't talk to me about the history of America. Don't talk to me about what the American dream is. Don't talk to me about what America is and what Make America Great Again means. Don't talk to me about any of that, because you are all far leftist when it comes to those issues, when it comes to those subject matters. When it comes to Black America, we are in agreement. So let's keep it there, because together we can do better for our community. Why? Because I have great ideas. I'm eager to learn. I want to work with you, and I'm willing to do that for Black America. I'm willing to put aside the fact that y'all are all far leftist when it comes to other issues. But we agree that Black America needs incentive. They need support. We need to get black on black crime down. We need to do something about the left trying to just bring in a whole new slave class, in a sense, and then put them in the ghettos. No, those are our communities, our neighborhoods. So if Black America starts to lift their communities from poverty, they're going to want to keep those people out. Why? Because they're the ones that are reaping the benefits of the new riches that they would have accumulated in their own community. So let's have those conversations. We can talk about those. That specific issue we can discuss. But you're not going to talk to me about anything else as far as America is concerned, because y'all think that socialism isn't bad. It is. It does not work. It destroys nations. Nations that were once rich are now poor because of socialism. Granted, most of those nations had tyrants behind those those economical type of systems, but it always starts from good intentions, right? Oh, you are all poor, so we're going to make sure that everyone is equal as far have equal end result, not equal opportunity. And then when you get a tyrant behind it, they start stealing your stuff. They start saying that you don't deserve any of this because I am the person who's in charge here. And now you're starving. Now your kids don't have no roof over their head, or you're fighting and killing each other over toilet paper because your cash is sugar honey iced tea. That's what we're seeing. That's what I'm noticing. Don't have those conversations with me, liberals, lefties. Don't. Because I don't come in here looking to criticize any of you for your ideology. I don't come in here looking to debate any of you for your way of thinking. I don't do any of that. I come in to do the job, because the job has nothing to do with Donald Trump. It has absolutely nothing to do about what I think about foreign policy. It has absolutely nothing to do with what I think about the far leftist. The same way what y'all are here to do has nothing to do with conservatives, has nothing to do with Donald Trump, has nothing to do with any of the things of which you want to target me on. We're here for Black America. That is why we come into this office, so we can help Black America. Have those conversations with me. That's why we're here in the first place, to have those conversations. Folks, this day, there was other news that happened, but I can't discuss that, not until it's a done deal. So when that happens, because I believe it's going to, y'all are going to get a lot more frustrations from me. And personally, with everything that's happening, you would think that a boss that can, really go in on you is the reason that I would quit. But I have thick enough skin. I have a backbone. I can take it. If you want to curse me out, curse me out. I just want to get in and out. I want to make the paycheck. I want to save my bread. I want to do better in life. So I have to tolerate your bad mouth sometimes. I'll stand up for myself when I need to, but you're going to go on your rants. You're going to do that. Go ahead and do that. But if what happens, what I think is going to happen in the next few months happens, I might be asked out of a job, folks, because I'm already doing this, dealing with this. And this is just talk. This is just talk from people who are liberal and lefty. Far leftists. Oh my gosh, this day, what a day. That's why I call it that. What a day. I'm over debating where I stand with these people. You know it already. You had me in this room for 2 hours once before because a colleague tried to have me fired because of my Facebook. So you know where I stand. Let's stop pretending that you don't. Let's stop. We hadn't had a conversation like this. I'm so mad, you guys. I'm so mad. And I don't cry in front of people. And I'm live, so if I cry, I'd be crying in front of you all. But I want to so bad. Because this is exactly how I felt when that woman tried to have me fired. You know me better than this. You know me better than this. And you know that I don't like conflict. So I'm not going to sit here and go head to head with you on what I think about Donald Trump. I'm not going to do that. I want to do my job. That's it. I came in here to talk about the job. Not about anything else. Nothing else. Gosh, when that happened all those months ago with my supervisor because of my colleague almost being fired because of that, because I didn't know I was almost fired for that until my supervisor told me months later after I was pulled in that the colleague who I was becoming really good friends with was nothing much but a two-face. And when I asked her why she thought that, she said because she tried like 2 months ago, she just tried to have people fired. Wait a minute, 2 months ago, that was me. That was me 2 months ago that was sitting in your office. So 2 months ago, it was me that she tried to have fired? So wait a minute, she's the reason that I was in that office? She tried to have me fired, but she's sitting in this office with me being friendly and nice and acting like I can confide in her. But just 2 months ago, she's the one who tried to have me fired? Really? And I was so disappointed in my supervisor. I was so disappointed in her. But she knew where I stood because I hit back hard then. I told you where I stood. I told you that I'm a career student, so I'm always eager to learn. I'm always eager to hear any nuggets of wisdom that anyone is trying to drop. But I told her from this moment on, I will not talk politics in this office. I just won't. I just won't. And you know what? I got to pull up my phone. You guys, give me 1 second. I got to grab my phone because I got an email earlier where they were talking about illegals. I'm going to pull it up so I can read it to you because they were talking about illegal aliens. This email came after that whole debacle. That whole email came after that debacle. Now I can't read all of it. I can't do it all, but what I can do is read you guys this ridiculous email that was sent. Just give me 1 moment. I got to pull it up because they were talking about illegals. That's what they were doing. They were talking about illegals and how they can't come into the country anymore, get treatment. Again, we deal with clients of, we deal with a program called Ryan White, and I don't want to go too much in depth with that. But I guess some of these illegal aliens, right, are dealing with the conditions that make them part of that program. But now we're supposed to pay for it? We're supposed to pay for that? Really? Everything that I completely disagree with was just in my face today. Far leftist opinions, emails about illegal aliens trying to get services from us. Everything that I disagree with was just in my face today, you guys. Planned Parenthood was in my face today. Oh my gosh, it was just everything leftist was in my face. And then on top of that, my supervisor pulls me into the office to talk about Donald Trump and how he's booed full. It was so overwhelming. It was like everything that, like a living nightmare for a conservative. I was in it today. The last 2 hours of my day was so much leftism in my face. And I got through it. Thank you, Lord Jesus. You gave me the strength to get through it. But good Lord, this was my day. And I know I'm heated, I'm angry, and I want to cry because of how pissed I am. How dare you turn what started off as a good day into a shitty one? Because you want to criticize me and you want to, try to teach me something. You did that. I didn't make this day bad. You did. And after months of rebuilding a work relationship and a friendship with you, because I had lost faith in her after that whole debacle months ago with that colleague. I've lost faith in her and trust in her. And now here we go again. Here we go again. And now I'm back to feeling like I can't trust you anymore. I can't. That was my day. I work in a job that's supposed to be helping Black America, and that's why I stay. That's why I stay. It's why I put up with this, why I put up with them. It's why I do it, because I want to make my community better. I feel it in my gut and in my bones that we can actually be successful in doing that. I really feel like we can. Candace Owens has made Black America much more, they become a little bit more open to different ideas, conservative ideas. And I feel like if I work with this organization long enough, I might be able to influence some of my conservative ideals into some of the programs or the groups that we might have. They think I'm intelligent. They think some of the ideas that I have might be good ones. Little do they realize that they're inspired from conservative ideals and values. You don't need to know all that. You just need to think that my ideas are going to work. And that's why I stay here. That obviously, and because the paycheck is paying my bills. I'm staying because I want to help my community. But God, what a day. It's not easy. It's so not easy being around people who don't even respect you when all I do is show them respect. We have differences of opinion, but I don't insult you. We have differences of opinion, but I don't criticize your beliefs. We may have differences of opinion. And because I know that, I don't come in here looking to agitate you liberals. I expect the same in return. And because I'm young, I'm 24 years old, so you think I'm just naive. You think I'm ignorant. That is also an insult. When you're patronizing me because I'm 24 years old, that is insulting. It's just insulting. On top of that, you did just call me boo-boo the fool because I support the president of the United States. I've lost so much faith in these people. So much faith. And I swear to you guys, if it wasn't for the community and for the people that come in asking us for help, I love them. I love the people that come in and asking us for help. I love watching them do better for themselves. I love having conversations with them. I love doing that. And it's because of them that I stay. It is because of them that I do. It is because of that. I show them respect. I listen to what they're feeling and what ideas they have. I even let them go on their own rants about Donald Trump. Why? Because they're not criticizing me. They're not insulting me. They're just telling me their opinion. And sometimes I'm able to share mine with them, but I actually, I tell them how I see it. I tell them the facts of whatever it is that we're discussing when they're bringing up Donald Trump or whatever scandal that he's going through. And sometimes they actually hear me. Sometimes you're like, okay, that makes sense. I still don't like him, but you make a good point. You make a fair point. And I get that more with the patients that come through the door than I do with my own supervisor. It would be hilarious if I wasn't so mad. I enjoy having those conversations with certain people because they're eager to listen to me at least. And by the end of it, they're like, I still don't like the man. I still don't really like him as the president, but I hear where you're coming from. I see what you're saying. When I talk about the Black community and I tell them of the ways that I think we can do better for them, they love my ideas. They want me to facilitate a group because they love my ideas so much and they think that people really need to hear what I'm saying. But they don't recognize that this is conservative ideology. This is conservative values. I'm one of the people that you think are racist because I'm conservative. I am putting a black face to conservatism in front of them. And it's the conservative ideas that they like so much. Maybe I will facilitate a group one day. Who knows? I just might. It'll help me with the public speaking thing. But why is it I get more respect from people who people expect to be, hateful and violent when they're not? But the people who work there are more hostile to me when we're talking about politics. Why is that? Why is it? The population that we serve can be more respectful to me when talking about politics than my own colleagues. Are you for real? Is that the world that we live in? That's the reality that I live. I'm so over this day. It was insane. It was fine from 9 a.m. to 2:45, and then everything after that. It was just liberal stuff and more liberal stuff. And I wish I could share with you guys, how Planned Parenthood came into my face. They didn't approach me. They didn't get in my face. So I know that me using that term is kind of confusing, but it's hard for me to explain it because I'm not allowed to until things happen, until a certain decision happens. But when it does, if it does, which I believe it's going to in just a few months, I will be explaining to you what I mean by Planned Parenthood was, came up in my face today. Not a person, not the organization itself, just the idea of it was just present in my face. It was present in the office. Not because the organization came in or a representative of Planned Parenthood came in, nothing like that. But if what I think is going to happen happens, I will go in. The whole episode that I do will be about that. But again, from 2:45 p.m. to 5 o'clock, it's been leftist. And I had to rush out of that door today. I couldn't even wait anymore. And that's how I felt months ago when I was told to go into my supervisor's office for a whole 2.5 months. I was just clocking in and clocking out. I was ready to get in and ready to get out. I was darting out of the office because I couldn't stand the environment anymore because they had made it uncomfortable for me. And now here I am again, uncomfortable in my job. So now, here we go again. I'm going to be clocking in, and the second that the little punch-in thing starts singing, I'm clocking out, and I'm out the door. There is no more I'm staying here late. It's only going to be an emergency for me to be here past 5 o'clock. Because now I'm uncomfortable. I am done. Oh, thank you guys. I know there were some more people here earlier. And I know I probably went on a rant, which is probably why you started leaving or I was cussing. So I apologize for my language. But I had to let it out. I tried not to curse, but I needed to let out the rage and really talk about my day because that was killer. And the person that I vent to is in class right now. So I'm coming to you guys because I know y'all get it. I am your host to speak on it. My name is Asia Branch. Don't forget to subscribe to Mamu TV's YouTube page. That's what it's called, Mamu TV. Also, if you don't mind, please follow us, the page exactly, on Facebook. And we're also available on Instagram. You guys can follow the link that I post to my different op-eds. We ran a commercial on both the Mamu website, on Mamu's Facebook, as well as the Instagram. And I shared it here on this page. Check out the op-ed. It's titled, "When Was America Ever Great?" And I wrote that specifically to answer the leftist asinine question, when was it? Because personally, every time we fought for freedom, we were. And you kind of get all those details in that op-ed. Again, my name is Asia Branch, your host to speak on it. Please subscribe. Have a good one. I'll be talking to all of you soon. God bless. And God bless the United States of America because it is awesome sauce.